Some viewers may find the following video disturbing. Viewer discretion is advised.
Hey, what's up, guys? I'm Abe Dunks,
I'm green.
and this is the boys from Texas. Welcome to episode 3. We had a busy day yesterday. But before we get into the weekend. How was your week, Green?
It was pretty good, Nothing changes, nothing changes. How about yours?
Hey, man, you're getting closer and closer for that trip. How excited are you from a 1 to 10?
I'm 1,000 excited. I'm 1,000 excited.
My boy feels like Iron Man. That's good. That's good. It was super hot, man. This week really killed us. Um, Shout out to Chuck because on his podcast on just another Friday night, he said Texans are ready for Mars, and I believe that because it got super hot this week. We really felt it, and yeah, I was literally sweating my ass off. Actually, Isaac. Shout out to just another Friday night podcast because they gave us a shout out to they gave us a shout out on their show on Friday. So shout out to them. Shout out to Chuck and
Hey,
Double A.
appreciate.
Love y'all. Um, I appreciate the shout out and stuff. So yeah. So Isaac, when we started this podcast, or Isaac, my bad, Green. When we first started this podcast, we did it because I wanted to start the podcast. I have been wanting to start a podcast since 2020. But I looked at the analytics yesterday and we got people in Oklahoma, Pennsylvania, where else? Philadelphia, Baltimore. Like, bro, that is insane. What do you think about that?
It's pretty insane, to be honest. It's amazing that people like to listen.
Yeah, I appreciate all those people that are listening to us, and especially here in San Antonio. But we even have people in Canada listening to us. Shout out to our fellow Canadians out there. And shout out to the whole world, right? Because that's what we're trying to reach out to the whole world. I know we're the boys from Texas, but from Texas to the world, right?
Right, right.
So let's start with yesterday we went to go see Alien. Um, what's Rumple it, right?
Reminisce. Yeah, gotta forget the name.
Yeah, dude. We went to go see the new Alien movie.
The new alien.
I mean, you can tell we're not um used to the whole names. And I'll be fair, I have not seen Alien 1 or 2 like the classic ones. This is my first Alien movie I've ever seen. I know what Alien is though. Um, but let me start with my brother, with you, Green. Let me start with your take on the movie because you actually seen the one before this one, which was Covenant, right?
Yeah. I
You saw you saw that movie. You saw the one before this one. So and then this is your second one, Alien. So let me take your take. What's your take on the movie?
Alien Covenant was really good. I liked it. I really liked it. You get uh, because of the robot, you get confused because at the end, the bad one basically takes the place of the good one and it ends off like that. I haven't seen
Mhm.
Alien 1 or 2. Like the first classic ones, I haven't seen those. I only seen Covenant, and then this one, this one was really good. I really like this one. It's pretty cool. And it's not as scary as I thought. I expected it to be scarier, but because most of the jump scares, I mean, it's jump scares, but most of the scares are like, oh, why you saw that coming? You're just waiting for it, basically.
Yeah, it was kind of predictable. Okay, 1 out of 10. What do you give it?
I gave it a 9. It's a very a good 9.
Okay, I'm gonna give it an 8. I have not seen the Alien 1 or 2. Apparently, Alien versus Predator has nothing to do with this timeline. But I have not seen Alien 1 and 2. Actually, Chuck was like, "Hey, go watch those movies because they're really, really good. And other than being a classic movie, they're actually really good. So I gotta go watch that. So I would say you don't even have to um had seen the other Alien movies because I mean, I kind of understood what was going on. Right? It was kind of predictable. I did think I thought it was gonna be scarier from the trailer. Right? Because even the trailer, I was like, God damn, like, should I even go watch this movie? Because I might be like closing my eyes the whole time.
Eh,
I know Variety was like a movie of the summer or whatever. I think that's kind of crazy. The movie was good. It was a 8 out of 10. I give it an 8 just because like I don't know the whole timeline, but if you a fan of Alien and stuff like that, you'll I think you'll love it. Just because you already know what's going on, what the whole process is, what the company that they keep saying is and stuff like that. So if you are kind of you know used to the whole
if you're nerd into the Alien, then you know it.
yeah, yeah. If you're into the whole like alien timeline, then you already know what's going on. You know what I mean? So
I don't think it's
yeah,
I
but
don't think it's basically much of a timeline. I think it's just like most of the movies is just like, oh, this is Alien. This is how it came to be. This is how it's born and shit like that.
yeah, that's true. That's true. But it was a really good movie. It
It
was a
was.
really good movie. I would suggest for y'all people to go watch it if you have nothing else to do this weekend. Go check it out because it was a really really good movie. Um, what else has been going on? Apparently, August 16th, we're gonna get an update for Grand Theft Auto 6. What do you think is? Apparently, this came from the actor who voiced Michael in the game. I can't remember his name. But he posted on Twitter or X. He said August 16th, and he put the little ice. What do you think is coming on iOS 16? Do you think gameplay or do you think a trailer?
I think it's just gonna. It'll probably be another trailer. I doubt we'll get any gameplay. I don't think we'll get any gameplay anytime soon. Maybe until next year. I think it would just
Mhm.
be another trailer. Most of the times it's always like that. Like, oh, you get the first two trailers, or you get like a little small update, or like, hey, this is really gonna happen, or like, oh, these characters are gonna come out, or something like that.
Well, so apparently IMDb, which is like the website that posts when the games are going to come out, when movies are going to come out, they actually updated their website, and people usually go based off that because they're kind of accurate. I think they have it releasing October 2025. If that's true, if October 2025 it's gonna drop, which is kind of from a year from now. Do you think they have anything done? Like could they possibly? I know they're not gonna give us a gameplay, right? Because
Yeah,
Rockstar is kind of like they like to keep that to the close to the chest, right?
yeah,
Or close to the vest, to where like they're not gonna leak secrets and stuff like that. Any other leaks that we had got are because of people like I think the son of the guy, the president of Rockstar actually leaked some footage, right? He was like, oh yeah, this is what they're working on, and actually it it pissed off some people because they were like, "We've been working so hard for your son just to." But then again, it's the son of the boss, so it's kind of a hard situation to be like, "Hey, man, tell your son not to be leaking, stuff." Which I get it, because if I was the son of the president of Rockstar, bro, I'll be like, super, super excited. I'll be like, yeah, putting all the leaks out. But do you think they have any gameplay to show? Is what I'm trying. Sorry, I went on a tangent. But do you think Rockstar has any gameplay to show if they wanted to show us gameplay?
I think they probably do, possibly. I will hope so. Reason why is because I mean the only thing that's getting updated right now is GTA, and those are really small updates. It's not like it's big, so like you kind of have a lot of time to be working on it. So I will hope so, but since it is Rockstar, I think they might want us to wait on that.
Yeah. Okay. Black Ops 6 released that Prop Hunt is coming back, or Treyarch, I would say. Treyarch released that Prop Hunt is back. That's one of my favorite game modes. Any more updates were they showed a third person view of the movement, and the movement looks kind of crazy because hackers and cheaters are already doing that stuff right now on Warzone. So I don't know, man. It's getting kind of crazy with the movement. It's gonna be nice to see it, but you know what the movement reminds me of Wildlands. It's kind of
Uh,
like if you're playing Wildlands but on Call of Duty.
yeah.
So what did you see the video I sent you or no?
Which one? There's a lot
The one I literally just sent you right now. The last one
on Instagram.
on Instagram. Yeah.
What is this? Oh, I already seen this. Oh, and
Uh,
that one is actually I already seen the movement.
okay, but what do you think about that though?
It's crazy. Like I said, homie, when he dolphin dives, he is literally flying like Superman across
Yeah,
almost
yeah.
the whole fucking block.
What do you think about Prop Hunt coming back? Do you like that game mode? I
I
love
do,
that game mode.
I do. I like prop hunt. I very much like prop hunt. Uh, I like playing prop hunt. When World War II came out,
Yeah.
it was really fun.
Uh, I I think another update was that when you buy doors on zombies, y'all can go half. So we saw that the last time I saw that was Black Ops 1. I didn't remember. I got off gaming between Black Ops 2 and 3. I didn't get to play. I didn't get back into gaming until Black Ops 4. You play Black Ops 2 and 3. I know you love those two games. What? But are you excited about the splitting the door?
I think that's very exciting. Well, you cut it. I mean, it's a different one from just waiting for someone to buy the door. But I guess
Mhm.
working together wouldn't be so bad. And then again, you most likely want to play with friends because otherwise, if you play online, I don't think people online are so nice to be like, you know what? Nah, I ain't going to have on you.
Yeah, yeah, sure. Um, okay, well, do you want to talk about anything else before we get into it?
I got nothing in mind.
Okay. Um, so as we said last week on the show, we wouldn't be called the boys from Texas without talking the boys, right? So let's hold on, let me pull it up real quick. So, The Boys. The plot of The Boys revolves around Huey Campbell, who joins a group of vigilantes called The Boys. After his girlfriend is killed by a superhero named A Train, the boys aim to bring down the corrupt superheroes of Vault International. This is only on Amazon Prime, so if you do not have Amazon Prime, I suggest you go and get it. It's 14.99 for just the regular I know they have a 30-day free trial right now, so I suggest you uh go take advantage of the 30-day free trial. I think 16.99 with no ads, which is not that bad if you think about it. But they also have a lot of other movies. They have Sicario on there. They have other good shows on there. So yeah, it's a good, it's a good buy. But let's get into it. Episode one starts by um, Huey Campbell is in this little store where he works at, kind of like an electronics store, which reminds me of Radio Shack. I remember when I was little, Radio Shack was the place you wanted to go for if you were looking for electronics, if you were looking for like music instruments and stuff like that, especially if you wanted to buy TVs, they had all that. It was kind of like Best Buy before Best Buy became Best Buy, right? Radio Shack, I kind of grew up on it. It was expensive though. We never went in there. So that's what kind of reminded me of. Um, my man is living the dream. He got his girl in there coming in, talking about when you're gonna come and lay this pipe. What does she say? Come and lay cable or whatever. He's like, that means I'm just gonna
You
go
come
to your
in
house and
shit.
take a massive shit. Yeah. So, it starts off by a little romantic uh kind of thing. The other thing too, it starts off by him trying to he's working his ass off. You kind of see that he's really smart. He's really into his job, where he knows what he's selling to the people, because he's telling the lady, you're probably gonna need this because this is better. It has carbon fiber, whatever, whatever. And then he's trying to ask for a raise, but he's the shy type of guy. He's the guy who works hard, but hates to ask for a raise because he feels like his hard work should be noticed. Kind of like me. You know what I mean? It's a hard situation whenever you're trying to ask for a raise from your boss. So I get it, Huey Campbell. And then they go outside, and she gets
Demolished.
blaster, literally disintegrated by A Train. And it looks like he's on something too. You can tell right away before everything else comes up. But you can tell that he's like a little jumpy, he's jittery,
He's
he's like,
tweaky.
I can't stop, I can't stop. Yeah, exactly. Like he's a little jumpy, a little froggy. He's like, I can't stop, I can't stop. And he just
Pretty
takes off. He
froggy.
doesn't even say, I know. And from there, he then you so then that happens, and then it goes to Starlight. Starlight is a young lady from Iowa who's trying to get into the vault. It tells her whole story. She's training fucking over here, mm, pushing
Punching.
up cars, doing pull-ups, punching the
Pushing wall.
wall. Like goddamn, who you going against, bro? Like the Hulk, you
Yeah.
know what I mean? And she's just, massive training. Her mom's like encouraging her, like, go through the wall, go through the wall. But her only power is pretty much the lights, right? She gets into the long story short, she gets into after all that hard training, she goes to the casting, gets into the seven, right? So far, let's talk about the intro. What do you think about the intro?
It's pretty interesting.
Because the first 2 minutes, or from when it starts to when like she gets killed, bro, like that was so fast. Because even like it starts off by the car chase, Homelander stopping the bank robbers, him and Maeve, right?
Yeah.
Um And him and her, they both stop the bank robbers, take a picture with the selfie, and then that's when it cuts to Huey. But bro, there's like so much action in the first 5 minutes, like it's just crazy. What did you think the first time you saw it?
It's crazy to see people getting off within the first 10 minutes. Because he off that when he when he caught the robber, he off that robber. He punched him straight to the air and he crashed down. So that was off his soul
Yeah, he
right there
did.
and then some games, watching someone getting demolished, disintegrated is also interesting.
So then, it cuts to Starlight. Oh, yo, let me pause. No, yeah, the first when I first saw it, I was like, what the fuck, bro? Like, I was just like I was sitting down. I was laying down and I started sitting down because it started getting interesting. You know how when you're laid back playing 2K and then you start losing and you kind of like lean forward. That's kind of how it got me, right? I was like just relaxing, like, oh, okay, yeah, let's just enjoy this film. I mean, this show. And then I was like, whoa, this shit's getting interesting. So it cuts back to after the whole Starlight thing, it cuts back to Huey. He just went and no pun intended, spread his girlfriend because that was the only thing that was left from her, right? Raven. And
Probably
his dad is kind of like brainwashed, right? He's into all these superheroes. They can never do no wrong. It's like, oh, it was her fault for being
on the
on
street.
the sidewalk or whatever, and this and that on the street. And he was like, she was one step off the sidewalk, and Vought comes in, tries to give him $45,000, which, let's be honest, guys, $45,000 to sign an NDA that your girlfriend never got killed by a superhero on Compound B is not enough money. I mean, realistically, there's no money that can bring her back, right? I don't think no amount of money can um make you forget of what happened. So he starts getting into like, I hate them, like, F them, um and stuff, right? I don't know. Does he start taking I couldn't remember the first time I watched it. That he started taking the posters off his wall, but I might be wrong because the second time that we watched it, he didn't do that. So I don't know if maybe I was tripping or something. And then from there, it cuts again to Starlight, right? Because it's you have two different characters, and then Starlight, it's kind of like she gets brought into this world where now she's getting known. She was literally nobody yesterday. Now, a couple of thousands of people are there screaming her name, chanting for her, taking pictures, and she's like, "Who are all these people here for?" And Ashley says, "Well, you, of course. Who else?" She gets brought in with the Deep to get introduced, and then my man's Deep try to raise her up aggressively by getting naked in front of her. That was crazy. I did not expect that. So far, what did you think of that, Isaac? Oh, damn, I keep calling you Isaac Green.
Right? Cause it's crazy to think that, oh, this is your only way into the seven, and that's kind of wild. Not gonna lie, it's kind of wild. It's kind of wild to
Mm.
just to have someone talk to you. You're talking, yeah, you're in the zone, and then just turn around to someone, slanging his meat.
It's funny because she goes, oh, I had a little. He was like, "Oh yeah, you probably had Homelander posters all over you." He's like, "No, Homelander is kind of like Jesus. He's not gonna lie." He's like, "I had posters of you." He's like, "I had like a little high school crush," and she's like all shy, and then looks back, and then that fool is all stroking his,
His long
schmeat or
dong.
whatever. Oh, and I'm like, bro, what the hell is this? You know what I mean? Like my man took it to a whole nother level. You know what I mean? And he kind of tries to blackmail her, or he does blackmail her because he's
Yeah,
like, if you go and tell anybody, who's gonna believe you?
You could
You're just
I can say that you
the
attacked me because you broke the windows to
y-
the
y-
screen.
y- yeah, she messed up the office kind of, and stuff like that. Um, and pretty much, I mean, he does have a point because she just came he she just came on the boat, on board with the team, so no one's gonna believe her over a guy who's been there, right? Um, so it cuts again to Huey. He tries to move on with his life. He's having anxiety attacks every time he either they talk to him about A Train, or something about A Train comes up, is just gives him anxiety attacks. And then you got my man's butcher, the butcher, coming in on some crazy shit, talking about how many nannies do you think shake their babies. And it's like, what, excuse me? He was like, yeah, give him a little razzle dazzle, type of thing. And that to me was crazy, right? The butcher himself looks crazy. Like he said, you look like you're about to star in a porno of the Matrix. Um, and then he has the whole English accent going on. The first time you saw the butcher, what'd you think of him?
It was an interesting character. His accent is it's funny. I was like, "Who the fuck is this dude?"
I remember when we first saw it, you were like, is he, who were you trying to say he was? Remember you were like, because I was like, oh, he kind of sounds like, I was like, the actor for Captain Price, but I mean, of course, it wasn't him. But you were like, no, he's like, he sounds like someone else.
Oh,
Um,
trying to think. Damn, I remember.
I, yeah, I can't remember who it was. So, he comes into the shop, kind of gives them a walk, tells them that he's a Fed, and tells him like, Vought does this every year. And even though Huey knows that, uh, A Train killed his girlfriend was not right, he's still kind of like brainwashed, right? He's kind of like, these things happen, like there's nothing I can do, right? Because even like when he's trying to like go build a case, his dad's like, you don't have to fight. He was like, in you, right? You never had. He was like, and neither do I, and stuff like that, which was kind of interesting because you can see the disconnect between him and his father. It's like he's with his dad, and it's just them two, but there's kind of like a little, like, emotions don't connect there, right, between him and his dad. So that's kind of hard to see, especially if you've been through it, right? So you see that disconnection between the dad and Huey, and you kind of like feel bad for Huey because you're like damn, Huey wants to stand up for himself, but like nobody even believes in him, like not even his dad. So the butcher coming into his life kind of like works as a like a father figure for him, right? Because the butcher's there, he comes in, tells him like, hey, like, you have it in you. He's trying to like hype him up, like, we can do this, let's go after Vought. And he was like, but like, they're the seven, like, how are we gonna bring them down, right? He takes them to, and he sees that he's kind of losing him, right? That he was like kind of like still like brainwashed. So he takes him to this little secret lair where all these heroes go to, where, I guess superhero is too much for them, and they want to release some stress. And he goes to this goddamn secret layer where they're having sex in the air, and doing drugs and having orgasms and stuff like that. So That was really really crazy to see in a show, especially if you're not used to seeing that stuff so graphic. It is kind of intense, so just be discreet when you're watching, guys. um and he shows them the video when A Train is kind of making fun of him running through his girlfriend, right? And Huey gets mad. He's like, they're just laughing at her like she's some fucking joke. And Butcher kind of like smiles because he has him back on this side, right? Where like, let's go after Vought, right? And then after that, he tells him, this is what we're gonna do. You're gonna go, you're gonna accept that money, fuck those $45,000 or 45K, whatever. But you're gonna say that you want to shake A Train's hand. And he was like, he starts even like, because even like when he sees him on the camera, he thinks he's there. He's like, no, this was yesterday, right? He starts like getting tensed up, like kind of having like an anxiety attack. And then he tells him, okay, fine, I'll do it. um and then he goes to the tower, right? But he gives him Bug and tells him, like, you have to plant pug uh this bug in the building so we can, and he tells him, he was like, but you're the FBI, why can't you get a warning, this and that, which kind of tells him right there and then, like, if you're planting a bug, that man's dirty, right? He's not really a Fed or whatever. So he goes, plants the bug. He says, easy, what does he say? Easy peasy Japanesey. That shit's hilarious. So he goes, plants the bug. Um, and but Translucent is in the restroom and sees him. So, what are your thoughts so far?
Or you call it. It's funny to see Huey change moods from and getting PTSD to anger to being soft to confused. So many emotions going through, and it kind of sucks to see that his dad has like no support on him whatsoever. He's like, nah, just forget about it. Like nothing happened here.
Yeah,
Like his dad wants him to take the money. That like, oh, we can really use this money. And he's like, well, what the hell? He's like, what are you talking about? He's like, just kill my chick. He's like, nah, just forget about it.
yeah, exactly. So, yeah, he does go through a bunch of emotions. Emotions are strong in this episode, especially the first 30 minutes, because the episode is an hour long. So just keep that in mind, guys. Um, so yeah, he um there's so many emotions on there. After Translucent he sees that Huey, because he goes in the restroom, he drops the bug, he picks it up, goes, puts it under the table, shakes A Train's hand, receives the check, goes, leaves with Butcher, and Translucent's like, what the fuck is that? Like, like, who the fuck was that? You know what I mean? Like, because Translucent is somebody who is invisible. Sorry, I should have said that. Translucent is an invisible guy from the Seven, but he's kind of like a perv too, right? Which is kind of crazy because the restroom, I just noticed, even though I watched it a couple times, they share the restroom, guys and girls, in the vault, which is weird, right? You would think a multi-million dollar company like that would have separate restrooms, but somehow superheroes just share the restrooms together, which is kind of weird. um After that, Huey's all hyped up. He's like, oh, I'm about to get in some deep shit with the Butcher. And Butcher kind of doesn't trust him really too much, right? You can really tell, like, he's still kind of like, he's just a nerd. What really can he do, right? So from there, hold on, how do I put this on? Oh, never mind. So then, you know, Translucent. I mean, he drops, Huey off. He's like, no, that's all I need from you. We'll talk later. And then Huey gets off, kind of sad because he's ready to get into some shit. And then his manager leaves. He's like, you lock up. And then he hears somebody come in, but he can't actually see him because the guy is invisible. And he's like, what, like, who the, like, what the fuck were you doing in the building? And then starts like fucking up Huey. He was like, who's that guy in the car? Who was that with you? He was like, it's just my Uber driver. It's just my Uber driver. And he's about to mess him up with the TV or fuck him up, whatever you want us to call it. And boom, Butcher fucking runs him over. And they start going at it. And he was like, Huey, fuck off, like run. And they start going at it. Huey's about to go through the back door. And he hears that the Butcher's kind of struggling with him. So he comes back, grabs the wire from the TV, and he's trying to electrocute him. But the cable's too short. Butcher sees it. He pushes him, and they electrocute his ass and knock him out. And he says, how the hell did you know that was going to work? He said, well, he said his skin was carbon, that he has thick skin or whatever. So I saw it on Jimmy Fallon. He was like, He was like, that would have took me a million years to figure it out, right? Because um, I guess Butcher had been trying to take these people out, but he doesn't know how to, right? And then the show ends, right? Or they put him in the trunk and take off.
Yeah.
Yeah, so they put him in. He's like, oh well, there. He's like, let's call cops. He's like, no, are you crazy? Like, you know what they're gonna do to us? Like, we just killed some. He's like, you just killed some. You just off somebody from the seven, and he was like, what do you mean me? You're the one that knocked him out. He was like, yeah, but you're the one that electrocuted him. What do you think they're gonna do to us? And he was like, well, why don't you just call the FBI? The FBI can help us. He was like, yeah, well, about that, I'm not really a Fed. She was like, then who the fuck are you? And they put him in the trunk and take off. And that's where episode 1 ends. Let's talk about the ending. How'd you feel about it?
It was funny. It was funny for him to tell him, "Who the fuck are you?" Then
Yeah, that was crazy. Okay, so far, episode 1. Any more reviews before we go into episode 2?
nah, I don't know.
You got nothing? All right. So episode 2 starts with him knocking on the trunk. And he was like, well, that's a fucking problem, because the guy's still alive. And then they go into this guy named Frenchie, which he's a drug dealer slash drug addict slash gun runner slash human trafficker slash whatever you want to call it. You know what I mean? Like, this guy does it all. He's a chemist, he's a drug dealer, he's a drug addict, he's a goddamn human trafficker, a gun runner, everything, all the above. He checks all the boxes, right? I'm pretty sure if this guy was in real life, he'll be FBI top 10 most wanted. So he's they go to him because apparently he's the only one that can help him. Apparently Butcher owes him 40K. He was like, oh, let's double it up. And he takes him outside. He's like, "Who's that in the trunk?" He's like, "Open it up. Don't you? Where's your mind of discovery?" And his French is like, "All right, fucking." He opens it up. He's well, not technically sees, but he hears that there's somebody in there, right? He was like, "Who the fuck are you guys?" And he fucking electrocutes him again. He's like, "You got a soup you brought a soup to my house?" He's mad. He's like, well, you're in it now. You know what I mean? He's seen your face. Like, this is your problem now. Like, before it was just me and Huey's problem. Now it's your problem. Um, and he was like, Okay, well, I have a plan. They put him in a cage, take him to this torn up restaurant. Um, but then in the vault tower, there's kind of politics going on. The president of vault is getting blackmailed by, I guess he's the governor of Baltimore, right? Because they're trying to, decrease the violence in Baltimore. Tells them that there's this guy who could be a superhero for the city. I guess he's the mayor of the city of Baltimore. He tells him, "Give me 230," and he was like, "Okay, that's fine." He was like, "Well, at first she says no, right? Because she was like, I'll give you 300," which I didn't get because she's asking 300, and then he's asking 200. I guess he wanted 100 million off that,
No, no,
right?
no, 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 no. She wanted 300. Yeah, yeah, she wanted 300,
Oh,
but he
okay,
was
yeah.
willing to pay 200.
Oh, okay, okay. So I guess Vault was just gonna do their marketing, right?
Yeah,
That's what they do.
she was like, I want 300, but he's like, nah, I give you 200.
Yeah,
He's
and
like,
then
nah,
he was like, "No,
I
I
can't
can't.
work with
I
that.
can't do that."
I can't work with that.
And he says,
He
"Yeah, you
started,
can because I know
he started blackmailing about her,
about
the compound B.
yeah." And then tells him, "Yeah, you can because I know about Compound B." And she tries to play stupid, right? You can tell right away by her face, like, "Oh shit, I'm fucked."
Yeah.
And says, "Oh, what is Compound B?" And he's like, "Well, it's a rumor that starts. It's about your soups and what do you do to them, and stuff like that." And he was like, "Okay, well, I'll think about it, right?" And then you have it goes back to Huey and the boy, or the boys actually, right? Um, Huey, Butcher, and Frenchie, where they're over here trying to figure out a way to either kill him or destroy Translucent, but they don't know how to. Um, my boy Frenchie's over here taking acid, LSD, or whatever to make a bullet, which the bullet doesn't even do anything to Translucent, right? And so they're just trying to figure out how to get rid of Translucent because they find out that he has a chip and they can track him, right? And not just that, but he's like, if Homelander finds out, then we're really dead because Homelander is like, everyone's scared of Homelander. That's the guy. That's the man. If you have someone to be afraid of, it's that guy, right? So it goes back to the president of Vault calling the mayor and says, "I'll do it for 230." He's like, "Okay, I can do that." He's like, "Have a safe flight." They get on the flight. They have turbulence. It's kind of like shaky, and the son has a picture of Homelander. He autographs it, right? And then he looks out the window and it's Homelander. He's like, "Oh, look, Dad, it's Homelander." He's like, "Oh, what is he doing here?" And then he sees that his eyes light up and boom, fucking literally slashes the jet in half. That jet crashes and um Homelander is just like, it shows kind of like the dark side, right, of Homelander. You can tell that Homelander is, well,
It's not a
was that
suit.
was in episode 1 though, right?
No, that was in episode 2.
Oh, okay, and then they Deep finds the jet and tells let's just call her the president because I can't remember her name. The president of all, like, "Hey, you know, yeah, the jet went down. Let's just say that it was an engine failure, but it's slashed. It looks like it came off light beams from an eye, right?" And but at the same time, Homelander goes to the office of her, and so now she knows all this stuff. Homelander comes and visits her, says, "Have you found Homeland? Not Homelander. Have you found Translucent? Because Translucent is lost now. It's kind of like going around that nobody can find Translucent, and the only way people find out about that because a Wish kid from Make a Wish his wish is to meet Translucent, and then he sent A Train, and it's a disaster. That part was fucking hilarious, bro. He's like, "Oh, I can try and come back in a week and bring Translucent." And he looks at the doctor, and the doctor is like,
He's like, maybe,
"Yeah, he ain't got a week, buddy."
maybe we can swing by next week. He's like, nah, I don't think so.
Yeah, yeah, he ain't got a week, brother. So it kind of reminds me of those memes when it's like when the doctor tells you you have a light cough, and then you see the Avengers walk in.
Or the
Like, goddamn,
PS5.
brother, that's it. Yeah, with a PS5, like, brother, that's it. You're dead. You know what I mean?
Uh,
So um, that goes on live video. It looks like it's on Facebook or whatever. On social media, they go live and they see the disaster of A Train. He was like, "Oh, I can run fast. I can teach you how to run." And he was like, "Yeah, can you teach me how to outrun cancer?" And he's just like,
he's like, no.
it looks like the character wants to laugh so bad. So
Yeah,
I don't know how he kept his composure
yeah.
when he was doing that scene, right? Because you can tell that he's about to bust out laughing, bro. But he just looks down and he holds it in. And then from there, people find out that Translucent's lost. The inside the vault, the president and Ashley, the director of Vault, and Ashley are like, where's Translucent? And fucking find him right now before it gets out. But Homelander finds out that he's lost. Then security finds out a 10 radius where he might be. She sends out the security and says, "Be discreet." Well, Homelander comes and pays a visit to the security intel, right? And he was like, "Oh, Homelander, what are you doing here?" He was like, "So where is he?" He was like, "Where's who?" He was like, "Where's Translucent? Where's the last pain?" And he shows him. Meanwhile, Huey, Frenchie, and the Butcher find out a way, the only way that they can kill Translucent, and it's by, sorry to say this, guys, sticking a C4 up his ass, right? So he's like, that's the only way to destroy him and stuff. He was like, so grab him, and Frenchie sticks it up there. So my man's is sitting there talking to Huey about his life and whatnot, but my man got a C4 up his ass the whole time, right? Homelander comes. He sees a black truck where Frenchie's at. They're already on high alert. Frenchie calls his girlfriend and tells him, "You're gonna have to explode the apartment, or not even the apartment, but like, I guess, a trap house. You're gonna have to explode it to cause a uh diversion for Homelander, so we can kill this guy, right? Because if we explode it without a diversion, Homelander's gonna know that Translucent was here, we killed him, and he's gonna kill us, and we're fucked, right?" So the girlfriend takes, well, technically connects the whole thing. Butcher explodes from the computer, explodes it. Fucking Homelander's little um tentacles, or whatever you want to call it, goes off, and he flies off. He just goes up, flies, and leaves. Meanwhile, inside the restaurant, um fucking Translucent had a cup of water. He pees in it and he throws it into the electrical thing of the cage so he can free himself. He gets out the cage and he's talking to Huey, and Huey's like, "Back off." While Frenchie's out there with Homelander, Huey's in here holding the bomb, and he's like, "Back off, or you're gonna be dead." And he's like, "No." He's like, like, don't, don't do this. You can be the guy who saved Translucent." And he kind of like, uh, convinces Huey to let him through. He's about to take off. Huey looks and says, "Keep your hands clean." A baby poster with pasta in his face, and my man's fucking presses it,
Boom.
and it explodes. Fucking boom! Shit everywhere, guts everywhere, everything. You know what I mean? Kind of like the way his girlfriend exploded. That's way the way Translucent exploded. It was kind of crazy, right? Blood, shit, fucking guts all over his face, and whatnot. And he's just there like, fucking did it. You know what I mean? And then it ends, right? So let's talk about it. What'd you think of episode 2?
I liked it. I liked it. And not gonna lie, I know it's not like I know it's wrong, but when you cut it, it feels good for him to like get his get back, basically for his like chick. Like I know people are gonna say like, "Oh no, you should do the right thing," but honestly,
Yeah.
honestly, if you put yourself in his position, would you have done the right thing?
Yeah, I say something. We do not condone no violence at all. But at the end of the day, my man did something good for him. He did something good for the boys, as in,
More like he got
he kind
closure.
of like, yeah, he got closure. Like you said, he got his lick back out, as the kids would say nowadays. Of course, you heard. I mean, look at John Wick, right? They killed his dog, and my man went on a killing spree
Yeah,
for 4 movies, right? Um, Huey, they killed his girlfriend. What did you expect? You take away something from a nice man, and you're gonna turn that nice man into a bad guy, right?
yeah,
Even though Huey is not bad, um, he gets kind of persuaded by Butcher and Frenchie. Well, not Frenchie, because Frenchie really doesn't talk to him about his story with the soups, but more by Butcher. He tells him all this, f the seven, fuck the bot, fuck seven, like fuck Homelander, like fuck all of them. They're just like these superheroes that do whatever the fuck they want, and nobody can tell them anything, and we can stop them, right? And Huey is like, he's kind of like I said, he's a nerd, doesn't really do much. Nobody really believes him. His own dad doesn't believe in him, but he has Butcher in his side who's actually believes in him, so he actually does it. So it is good to see that I guess he doesn't get closure, but he's getting closer to that, right? He's getting closer to vengeance for his girlfriend. Like you said, if you were in his shoes, would you have done the same thing? I think I would have done the same thing. I would have gone on a killing spree. But I mean, honestly, when he had met with the A Train, I would have gone crazy. Right? That's just me. But he kept his composure. He kept his cool, and he shook his hand and whatnot. But episode 2 was crazy. Episode 1 and 2 are a 10 out of 10 for me. um, I have never seen a show with so much action, so much other than Narcos, because I kind of already knew what to expect from the trailers and stuff like that. But other than Narcos, I think The Boys was another, like the second show that has me on my feet. Like literally, I could be like watching it standing up because it's so fucking good. It's action, after action, thing after thing. Like it's so fucking good. You know what I mean? And I give it a 10 out of 10. How about you, Green? What's your rating on these 2 episodes?
I give it an 8 for both. Pretty good, pretty good. A pretty good start to a season,
Hmm.
and where you cut it.
Do you have Do you have anything to compare it to where like it had you on your feet? Like, what's another show that would say like it can compare to, and your personal thoughts?
Well, it wasn't a show; it would be an anime. It's called Parasite, and it's the same thing at the beginning, like uh, at the, in the beginning, already killing off people, and that gets you on your feet. To be honest,
Yeah.
well, that gets me on my feet. I don't know about other people, but yeah,
Before we watched the boys together, had you ever seen the boys before?
no, I've never seen. I had just
But
seen. It's nothing
but
but memes.
but you knew what it was, right?
Yeah, I just knew it. I just knew
Okay.
the concept of it's superheroes and something like that.
It's crazy to think that this show came out during
COVID.
COVID, and for some reason TikTok blew it up. Right? It's like everything, right? A show comes out and might not take off. Season one drops, season two drops, and then slowly season three picks up, and then everybody's like, "Oh my god, this is the greatest show." To me, that's how it happened. I'm gonna be honest. The only reason why I started watching this show, I'm a big Mortal Kombat fan. I haven't bought the Mortal Kombat one, the new game, but they made a DLC skin for Homelander, and they have him on there, right? So I was like, you know what? I think it's time because even I play a lot of Call of Duty. People know this, and the boys in Call of Duty made a crossover. They have Homelander on there. They have Black Noir, and they
Starlight.
have
Now they have Firecracker.
Starlight. Now they have Firecracker and A Train and stuff like that. But before it was just Starlight, Homelander, and Home
Babe.
Noir. I mean Black Noir.
Yeah.
And so after seeing all that, and then hearing my friends at work talking about all these that about breast milk and stuff like that. Didn't get the jokes, and I was like, "What the fuck are these guys talking about?" And they kept telling me, like, "Bro, you gotta watch the boys. Have you watched the boys? Have you watched the boys?" They kept pushing that narrative a whole goddamn month and a half, and I was like, "You know what? I think it's time. I think it's time." I had slowed down at work. I was getting off work early. I wasn't putting in much overtime, and that's when I told my brother, you know what, fuck it, let's watch this. And even you weren't um too into it. You were like, no, I just want to watch Family Guy. Leave me alone. I just want to rest. And I was like, dude, come on. And I think I told you the first time, you said no. I told you the second time, you said we'll watch it later. And then the third time, I was like, you know what? Fine, fuck it, put it on. And we were like, what the fuck is this? Like, I think we watched the first four episodes that same day, right?
Yeah.
So, yeah, this, I really recommend y'all guys to watch this. If y'all haven't watched it, go watch it. Like I said, it's on Amazon Prime only. That's the only place where you can get it. And this is not an ad. I'm not trying to. I'm not getting paid. I wish I did get paid by Amazon. Amazon, hit me up.
Man,
But and this is not an ad or anything. But go watch it on Amazon Prime. We're gonna be talking about episode 3 and 4 next week. We might pre-record the podcast sooner, and we'll drop it on Sunday because next Sunday,
I
my
won't.
man's
I won't be
is
here.
gonna be on a flight to Denver. Actually, around this time, you'll be on in the air
I'll be in Denver already, to be honest, at this time.
because you're. Are you sure? Oh yeah,
Yeah,
it's a 2 hour flight, right?
yeah. I'll be probably landing in Denver right now.
Okay, so um, before we go, do you have anything coming up on your YouTube channel?
No, my YouTube channel is there. I mean, mostly, I'll post sometimes. It depends.
You don't stream as much, right?
I'll stream, but it's mostly on the weekends. Mostly, like, I'll probably be streaming later on today, but mostly Saturdays, and or when I do have time.
Give us your give us your TikTok because I know you post a lot on TikTok.
It's Green
So
Ninja.
plug that.
Green Ninja 223. Green Ninja spelled the way I spell it. Green INGA 223.
There you go, guys. So
And
go follow him on TikTok.
if you
Make
want
those followers pop up.
The YouTube and Twitch, it's just Green Ninja 22.
There you go. So let's talk about your trip. You're going to Canada. Tell the people of the world where you're going.
I'm going to Edmonton, Alberta, Edmonton. Yeah.
And this is your first time flying, right?
Yes, it is my first time on the plane. I'm very excited.
How long are you gonna stay there?
A week.
All right. So all I gotta say is go to Tim Hortons and try the tidbits. You'll love them because you love donuts and sugary stuff. So you're definitely gonna love the Timbits. So make sure you try that. All right.
I will.
Make sure you go to Tim Hortons and try the Timbits. I went to Tim Hortons in Mexico. So we live in San Antonio. The closest Tim Hortons we have is in Houston, which is like 4 hours away. But I went to go visit my grandparents 2 months now, right? Like 2 months ago. For a whole week, and they actually have a Tim Hortons over there, which I was kind of surprised because I was like, God damn, they got two Tim Hortons. They actually got three now because they just finished the third one. So I was like, I'm in Mexico for a week. I cannot leave Mexico without trying Tim Hortons, and I did. I tried the caramel macchiato. So fucking good. It's so fucking delicious. For the people that don't know what Tim Hortons is, it's kind of like Starbucks. Uh, Actually, people in Seattle and in Washington or up north, they actually have Tim Hortons everywhere. But over here in Texas, it's barely coming, slowly but surely. Actually, here in San Antonio, they're about to build one. They have it on Google Maps. They just don't have an opening date. So I can't wait for that. I can't wait for Tim Hortons to open up. I'm gonna be there every day. But so I went. I didn't get the Timbits, but I got the donuts. The donuts were really fucking good. Um, and then I left, and my friend from Canada, my fellow Canadian, was like, "Bro, did you try the Timbits?" And I was like, "No." And he was like, "Bro, you gotta go fucking back and try those motherfucking things." He was like, "Those things are so fucking delicious and so fucking good that you're gonna fucking love them." And I was like, I didn't. Yeah, I messed up. He was like, "Yep, you did mess up." He was like, "Next time you go, don't make sure you go." He was like, "Bro, like literally, that's what Tim Hortons is about, the Timbits." And I was like, "Bro, it's pretty much donut holes, but that's what they call it, the Timbits." So let me know, guys, on the comments or whatever if y'all tried Tim Hortons. What's your special drink there, so I can try it. And yeah, so follow me, Abe Dunks TV on YouTube and TikTok. Um, I don't have a Facebook page yet, but Instagram. I also have Abe Dunks TV, but also Abe Dunks 23. That's my official Instagram. You can go and um follow me, give me a send me a DM or whatever, and I'll follow you back. Actually, one more shout out. Any shout outs you have to give me before we leave?
Nah, I don't got anyone.
I'll shout out, Tom.
Well, you know
All right,
what?
man.
I'll give shout outs to my friends, the ones that have been supporting me all this time. Give shout outs to them. Well, they don't have any social media or anything like that, but huge shout outs to them.
I want to give a shout out to the people who listen to the show, because of y'all, it's why we get on here. The first time I told my brother about doing a podcast, he was not really into it. And now that he's been seeing that people actually listen to us and what we got to say, he's loving it. And now we talk about the podcast every day and new ideas and stuff like that. So shout out to you guys for listening to us. We also have it on YouTube on Abe Dunks TV on the main page. I added the podcast on there, so go make sure y'all watch it. Huge shout out to Forever Flowers. They did a beautiful flower arrangement for moms. She loved it. She was happy. Mom's going through some, life stuff, marriage stuff, whatever you want to call it. Don't want to get too into personal stuff yet on this podcast, but really, really proud that she loved her flower bouquet that I got her from Forever Flowers. um, it came with Ferrero Rocher chocolate in the middle as a shape of a heart. It was really, really awesome. So shout out to Alexandra. She did a really, really good thing for moms, and she loved it. So yeah, but thank you guys for watching. We'll be back next weekend. You'll catch us here on the replay. Thank you guys, and see you later.
Yeah.